Take a few moments and read the following paragraphs. The internet is a vast, incredible source of information where we can share knowledge with one another. You can access journals, professional articles, all kinds of statistics. However, you do have to be careful because just because something's out on the web does not mean that it's true and or reliable. So why do we evaluate? First off, like I just said, the internet's huge, and it grows each and every day with new information and new sites. The fact that all of this up-to-date information is available to us, there's no reason that we shouldn't have the most up-to-date and current information. Another reason, anybody online with a computer and access to the internet can publish information. Take a few moments and read the following. Bottom line, just because Google told you so does not mean it's accurate. In addition to anyone being able to author a web page, very commonly they don't have the opportunity to have it edited. If you publish an article in a newspaper, a magazine, or even publish a book, it will have been edited dozens of times before it ever makes it to newsstands or to the bookstore. A web page can be typed and up instantaneously with no checks whatsoever. Speaking of checks, there's 6 that I would like for you to go through when you're evaluating internet information. The URL, the author, the date, the accuracy, the purpose, and the type. Check these 6 things, and chances are you're going to be getting a reliable piece of information off the World Wide Web. The first one is check the URL. Here are some common domains. Most of us know the .com. That's a commercial organization and or a business. You have .gov, which is a governmental site. If you wanted to go see what information about the president, you would go to whitehouse.gov. That's going to be the official page of the White House and the president. .edu, if you wanted to do a search on how many students go to Indiana University, indiana.edu would be where you want to go there. Military site, etc. Now, as I just said, .gov, those sites are going to be reliable in general. Most of the time you can trust one. Same thing with .edu. Another common one is .org. This is for a not-profit organization. Some can be incredibly reliable. Others, not so much, and that's where we come in with something called bias. Bias is when an organization slants to one side more than the other. You're going to want to get a more trustworthy site than that. Next check, who's the author? What is her credentials? If you're looking something up in the medical field, do you see the initial MD after them? Or is this some 6-year-old that's typing something on the flu? Is there a way that you can get into contact with that author? If so, chances are that person's going to stand by their information. If there's no author published, I'd stay away from it as being a good source. Next, check the date. When was it first written? Is it up to date? Has it been revised recently? Are there a lot of dead links, which is where you click on it and nothing happens? If that's the case, chances are the page hasn't been edited in a while. Might want to look for something new. Check the accuracy. Well, how do you do that? A couple of ways. Does the author provide a bibliography? Does he or she give you links to where you can find where the author compiled the information? Second, are there a lot of spelling errors, grammatical errors, punctuation problems? If so, might not be the right source of information for you. And lastly, is there someone that edits it? If so, more likely to be a good source of information for you. Check the purpose. Why is this particular document being written? Who is the target audience, meaning who was it intended for? Does the page demonstrate bias? If so, how much? If it's a lot of bias, we don't want to use that particular source most of the time. Is the page written in order to influence opinion and or persuade an audience? And lastly, check the type. Is it a primary source or a secondary source? A primary source is first-hand information. Secondary source is useful and can be incredibly useful at times. However, the further you get away, it's kind of like the telephone game. The further you get away from the original, the less likely you're going to get the 100% message. Follow these steps and your searches should be good to go.